with Jenny and Jenny. This is the Noonas podcast with Jenny and Jenny.
Dual set.
Heart to heart, Noonas podcast umida.
We are back once again with the Noonas podcast. As always, it's your hosts Jenny and Ginny.
Yo.
And yes, we are once back. Wow, I can talk today. Wow, it has been a day.
It's been a week for me too. It's 7 days, like working with no breaks.
Yeah, no, we had to take a week off because just of work and stuff, and so we have a lot to catch up on here. So, but we are back with another episode of the Noonas podcast, and we have a ton of music to catch up on this week. Just scratching the surface again, what's going on in K-pop and the K-pop world overseas there in Korea. But yeah, I mean, yeah, we got a lot between some singles, some albums. Some artists like that are well established and some newer artists out in the scene. So it's going to be kind of all over the board today, I think, in terms of our reviews.
And hopefully, we'll be able to swoop on by, and hopefully it'll be under a 2-hour show today.
Hopefully,
give your boy a satisfaction.
I don't know, every time he's so happy when I have like a 2-hour or 3-hour show. He dances in glee every time, and I don't know why, but he does.
Why?
I don't know, because it makes my life worse because I have to edit that later, and then it's just suffering for me later. I don't know.
What?
I have to, because I'm the one who has to edit.
Not a good boyfriend. Not a good boyfriend.
No, it's fine. He just likes to tease, but. Hey, at least I can say I've turned on some good K-pop as of late, so that's a good thing.
Yeah,
you too. Yeah, as we have not maybe done that, just before we recorded here today. But that being said, we'll get into that later in the episode. But yeah, we have a whole, like I said, slew of music today from both soloists and a couple groups on our docket today. From established artists and some rookies as well. So I guess, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how to get into it because we're running the gamut, because I think we have everything from like singer-songwriters to hip hop to just regular old like standard K-pop to, everything.
Yeah, we're going to be like really diverse in our reviews in this show. So hopefully you guys, will get to like explore and be introduced to a lot of cool artists that we're going to be talking about.
Yeah, because it's just a little bit of everything under the sun today. So just gonna be, I think we should just get right into it, and we should just start immediately. And I think because like I said, we're gonna kind of go back a little bit back to a couple of weeks ago, because we're starting back on the 15th of October, going all the way up until this week with releases, because we're just running a little bit behind, but no problem with that. We're here trying to cover it as much of it as we can. So with that, we're going to go right back in time a little bit, back to October 15th.
Stop, rewind, turn, back time.
I miss Wavy. I wish they'd get more music out soon. Anyway, but let's start with a release that dropped on October 15th, and actually was a single release from a pretty established singer-songwriter that goes by the name of Eric Nam. For those of you who don't know much about Eric, he is actually an American-born Korean from Atlanta. He's from the Atlanta area, I believe, who moved over to Korea to kind of make it in the world and
pursue, the K-pop industry.
Pursue music in the industry. And he's kind of made a name for himself. I think especially to kind of doing a lot of stuff. I've known him doing, because he hosted After School Club, which is a big show that does a lot of like interviews with K-pop artists and stuff, which kind of helps because it kind of translates into English pretty quickly. So it's really good for the international community.
Yeah, that's where I know him best, is like him being, doing a lot of like hosting and interviews with, in English for, a lot of K-pop idols.
Mm-hmm.
So we go way back with our guy Eric.
as well as just like his stuff now with Dive Studios, which I believe he started Dive Studios with his brother, which is now a big podcast studio that he does that has quite a few podcasts under its belt. If you are looking for some like really fun and even some informational podcasts that has like K-pop idols going on, and they are translated. If you do watch the YouTube videos of them, they do translate them, especially the ones who are the more Korean native speakers, because they do have like obviously the more fluent English speakers on the shows, as well as more native Korean speakers too. But so they make it accessible for going both ways. But go check out Dive Studios over on YouTube. This is not a plug for them, but go check them out because they have a great selection of podcasts, and it's just a good way to kind of get some good interviews with some idols just across the board. I think because he's interviewed everybody. I feel like he's interviewed everybody under the sun, and like he's a very very good interviewer, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But on the music side of things, I think he's just a very solid singer-songwriter. I really enjoyed his EP he dropped last summer. And what's notable about this single that he dropped on the 15th, I Don't Know You Anymore, is that this is his first single completely independently on his own, because he left his label Stone Entertainment earlier this year because I believe the music side of Stone Entertainment folded.
Shut down.
Basically it folded or shut down. And so this is completely him pursuing this, like is kind of like now really much an independent artist and really pursuing this like all on his own. And he's really working the grind now. I think he's come back to the States to do a lot of the stuff now, but he's still doing stuff with a lot of the K-pop artists and with Dive Studios and stuff, because he's still releasing episodes of the K-pop Daebak show. But yeah, I mean, I have to say this, for his like first like solo track on his own, like this is really good. Like having to like do the hustle completely on his own and like having to produce it and get it all out there. This is really, really good. It's so funky and so soulful.
Yeah, it's a great start for him to, like reintroduce himself to like the world, especially when I think he's trying to like appeal more with the North American side as well. I really enjoyed this. So, it's really fun, even though it's a song about like either heartbreak or lovesick, the lovesick feeling.
Yeah,
Give me a lot of like a mixture of like The Weeknd and Harry Styles. To me, I really don't listen, so I don't know if it's the right comparison, but it's just giving me a lot of like Weeknd and Harry Styles vibes, especially Harry Styles on that side.
Yeah, no, I kind of like it does. I think more of Harry Styles than The Weeknd, especially kind of with the more kind of soulful funk side, because this one definitely has that. You can definitely feel those beats, especially in the chorus, and I think in the second verse of the song. But yeah, I think it's a really good setup. And I'll let you know, this is completely in English. This is a complete English track for him. He has released stuff in Korean and English. He's very fluent in both of them, obviously. But yeah, I mean, like I said, this is, I think, a really, really good track. And like, I know he recently released this on that Friday because the following Monday he was announcing his, I believe it was his North American tour.
Wow.
That he's touring. Yeah, he's touring coming early 2022, because I actually have a bunch of friends who are going to go see him this coming March, I believe, in Chicago. February, March, whenever he's performing. It's very very close. So because I'm debating if I want to go see him, because I do like a lot of his stuff. Like I said, I liked his EP from last summer. I'd say if you want to check out any of his other stuff, like his EP from last summer, The Other Side, it's really good. The single from that, Paradise, is a really good song. That's actually in Korean. But yeah, I mean, like I said, for his first time, because he's really trying to like, he's out there right now, like really trying to, he's kind of like the struggling artist right now, trying to like restart his career now, because he doesn't really have a label. So he's established his own label and is out there, doing the hustle. So like, if you really want to support a really true independent artist, Korean artist, I really point my way towards Eric Nam. He's a very, very talented singer-songwriter.
Yeah, criminally underrated too.
Mm-hmm.
And and he's like really has like a great personality too. Like if you get to know him in this podcast, like he's like a very like welcoming and like very very heartwarming personality with him. Like if you like have like a gateway into like learning like a lot of like personalities with with idols, especially when it comes to like idols from North America, you should really like check out his stuff and really check out like or listen to like their experience whenever they work in Korea and see like how their life has changed them. It's a really great insight from him and other idols with him.
Yeah, he really, because he's really brought the insight from like the struggle of working in the industry and stuff, and he's really kind of like shed that light. And he's a very warm personality, and you can definitely tell that when he's talking to people and interviewing people. I was just listening to his episode of the Daebak show this week that he had Jin Young from GOT7 on, which was a really fun episode actually. So he's one of those really criminally underrated singer-songwriters out there that I really think he should get more look at. And go check out his tour. He's going on tour again early 2022, so go check him out. Tour tickets are on sale now. Not plug for his tour, but might go check out his tour when he swings by Chicago.
I wonder what will be like the reaction of a certain member from GOT7 when like they're like listening to this new song. Eric, what the hell?
Who knows indeed. So
goddamn Jackson. I wonder like what Jackson's gonna be thinking about his new song.
I wonder if they probably texted each other. I bet you they texted each other about this after it dropped. More than likely. So, but
I missed their interaction though. It's like so hilarious.
Those two have some of the best interactions. They're chaotic with one another because they're two extroverts. They're just like
it's like he's the bully, like Jackson's the bully, and then then Eric's like the selfless victim.
This is very true, actually.
You check a lot of like compilations of like Eric and a bunch of like idols, especially when it comes to Jackson, because they love messing with each other.
Yeah, you have to check out like interactions, especially with Eric having to interview GOT7, especially with having to deal with Jackson Wang is just, wow. I mean, anybody having to deal with Jackson Wang is just and is
good luck.
Is enough. But Eric dealing with him sometimes is just like, wow. But I mean, Jackson definitely is the extrovert of that group. There are a lot of introverts in GOT7, believe me. But let's move on to our next single, because like I said, we had 3 singles this week, and we got 2 that came out pretty early in our reviews here. And so I guess the second single we're going to talk about this week comes from, I guess, Korea's darling herself, IU. And she dropped a single back on the 19th by the name of Strawberry Moon. And I mean, she definitely is Korea's darling. I mean, what else can I say about her? We've talked about her at length on our show, especially her last album which we were both pretty big fans of, I think. And I mean, I think the single is definitely more whimsical than what we saw on that last album.
Yeah, very whimsical, and almost like told in a fairy tale kind of manner. Yeah,
I said it was sweet. Like I said it was sweet, but not like saccharine sweet. Like there's
not too sugar coated.
Yeah, because there's that borderline where it could be like overly sweet, like overdone. Like she just toes that line where it could be like that, but she manages to reel it in, and it's not like overly done and overly like, I think too like cloyingly adorable in a way, because she's
not like those like those usual girl group that does like the really cutesy persona. Like she has like a more unique style into her, having that really like colorful but very like magical type of feeling when you listen to her music.
Yeah, very much so. It's like, yeah, even not even like, and I won't even say like magical girl like esque, but like it's very real and almost like it kind of has a touch of reality to it, but still feels very magical in a way.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, the music video itself too is like it again has that magical whimsy to it as well, and I think adds to the song. And I mean, like I said, I think I wrote like it's just one of those songs like I think would play like in the background of like a K-drama or a movie, like during during like a meet cute moment, like
the romance, like a feel good romance show.
Yeah, exactly. One of those like definitely like feel good romantic K-dramas. This would easily fit in one of those OSTs, hands down.
And I would also say, not just like the really like feel good, uplifting type of like music that she put a lot in this song, but it's also I really really dug, even though that kind of music is not my cup of tea. I really admire like her works, and I don't know if she wrote the song for Strawberry Moon, but the lyrics written for this in particular, it has some of the most beautiful and really profound like writing that I've seen, because like I was reading the subtitles when watching the video, and the first verse itself, it's like it's told in like a really like an eloquent use of like metaphor and like in a poetic style, because it's like it's really descriptive and like again told in like a fairy tale type of writing. It's something that you don't see a lot of when like a mass produced group efforts you see in K-pop industry. I kind of wish that we get some of those like really deep like lyric and like songwriting into more songs like this one.
Yeah, I could definitely see that too. Because when I was reading the subtitles, it's very, very poetic and very beautiful, and just it has this gorgeous imagery. Because again, talking about the Strawberry Moon and taking like a scoop out of it, and just it's beautiful. Like just again, it adds to that magic to it and just gorgeousness of it. And it's just I mean, it's a really beautiful song. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's for everybody. Like I said, it could be for some people. It could be a little sweet. I mean, like I said, I think it's holding that line of being too sweet. But I think for some people, it could be past that.
The visual, like the visual aspect of the video alone makes it like I really want like a strawberry ice cream now. Like looking at it.
I know. I'm not gonna lie. It's like it makes me want to run out and go get like a pint of strawberry ice cream and just go sit on my couch and eat it.
Craving for ice cream now.
I know. It's just like I just want to like just like grab up in a blanket, go eat some strawberry ice cream, and just go watch like a cute like romantic K-drama and just relax. Like that's all I want to go do now after watching that.
Such a random thing that I want to point out. My mom is starting to get into K-dramas now. So,
oh no!
Oh my god!
Oh no! Did she watch Squid Game, or is it because of something else?
Not yet. People are like talking to her about it, and she's like, "Wait, let me just like finish my like K-dramas first."
I know.
God help her.
Oh, God help her soul. Yeah, because once you get down that hole, that's a little dangerous.
I know.
Yeah, I'm towing that line of getting into K-dramas because I know once I get down that hole, that's dangerous for me, and that's like no. Squid Game is hard enough as it is, and now that my boyfriend's finally watching Squid Game,
I know.
And then he binged 5 episodes in a day, and I said, "I told you so." Sorry to call you out on those podcasts, baby, but yes.
If you get to episode 6, you're gonna be like Tyrese, like crying.
Stay tuned. I will let you know about that later, because that hopefully might happen tonight or tomorrow.
Reaction. I wish you like we saw his reaction.
Oh, I know. I'm kind of mad he didn't get to episode 6. I'm kind of mad he didn't get to episode 6 today, but anyway, we're digressing. Yes. Anyway, also I'm calling out my boyfriend on the podcast. I feel horrible, but I don't at the same time. I don't know. Anyway, but now should we get into our first actual like full album review? And I feel like this is actually like our full album review, because the other 2 were technically mini albums, quote unquote, EPs, whatever you want to call them, for us. And that's with CL, who finally, I feel like I did like Nancy Joan Cookier finally
the return of the baddest female.
the baddest queen in K-pop with her
Whew.
album Alpha, back on the 20th, because she had been teasing, obviously with a couple pre-release singles with Spicy and then Lover Like Me the last couple weeks. Obviously, we talked about
Also, yeah,
Spicy
also
on our,
like
our
with a couple
comeback.
of songs too, to last year that is included into like the first album of CL, or the studio album for this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, because I think, did we talk about Hua, I think,
I
at the end of last year?
I think
I
so.
feel like we
I don't
might
know.
have. I can't
Yeah,
remember now. Now I have to go back in my notes. Because I feel like we might have
I'm pretty
talked
sure we
about
did.
one of them, like either Hua or Five Star, which, because I remember listening to the end, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember these songs from the end of last year. And I'm like, oh my God, that was almost a year ago. Where did the time go? Because it's like, it's been almost a year since she dropped those songs. But we finally got her first full length studio album that I know she had been teasing for a while. And I mean, like I said, the baddest queen in K-pop is back. Honestly, I mean, if for those of you who don't know who CL is, she was the main rapper and leader of the iconic second generation group 21, YG's 21, basically the baddest bitches before Blackpink.
It was Blackpink, Blackpink before Blackpink. They're like the mothers of YG Entertainment.
Basically, Blackpink would not exist without 21. So
right,
you need to thank CL and 21 for Blackpink. And yeah, I mean, again, CL just has this amazing charisma and just boss bitch energy. I can't say, I don't know how else to put it.
It's a feisty energy, like a fiery energy that oozes out of her.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you can be so intimidated, or you just really want to get with her, like that.
Exactly.
That type of personality.
Yeah, easily. I mean, and she's had an amazing 2021. I mean, she was just at the Met Gala earlier this year with Rosé.
That was my favorite outfit. Yeah, with Rosé too.
Mm-hmm. The first two K-pop idols to ever walk the Met Gala are CL and Rosé, each for separate fashion labels, I believe. But yeah, I know CL with that denim hanbok she was wearing was quite
modern
stunning.
hanbok.
It was very, very stunning. Actually, I really, really dug that. But yeah, no, this whole album with Alpha is, I mean, like I said, we've had a couple of the songs. We had Spicy, we had Lover Like Me, and then we also had Hua and Five Star, which finished up the album at the end, which I do actually think they fit really well as kind of the finisher on the album. But
yeah.
But I want to talk then about, because we talked about Spicy. Obviously, we talked about Spicy in the comeback show. But we didn't talk about Lover But Like Me, and I think Lover But Like Me is actually not too bad of a song. I mean, it's mostly an English track.
A lot of the songs are in English. It's almost half and half of Korean and then English.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's kind of has a mix of both on the album. So, because I mean, she's very fluent in English. The promoted single on right now that she's doing as the album dropped was Thai Cherry, which again I think does exude that energy, that fiery energy she has, in a more of a clubbier. I felt like it's almost like a subterranean underground mix to it. It kind of felt like underground club beat to it. I mean, the music video itself has her in these very avant-garde outfits. Again,
it's become a thing with CL. Lately, I think it's something that she was becoming know her more. It's because of her really high-end fashion, fashion sense. And it's I like how she exudes of kind of that beauty and attractiveness from her is just with this really chic outfits that she got, and it's really intriguing.
She's got she's just this amazing kind of fashion sense, I guess, to it. I mean, because it is very almost avant-garde when you look at the music video itself.
And also she really really pushed towards that really stylistic choice with her music, as well as the video as well.
Yeah, exactly. Because like, it just has that clubbier like sound to it. There's just, it still feels very modern, but it works with her flow and her cadence with her rapping and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think what's great about this album is too is showcasing both of her rapping and her singing, because I feel like her vocals remind me a lot of like Rosé with Rosé's solo album.
Very
Especially with the songs like Lover Like Me
Lover Like
and
Me.
I think Siren really remind me a lot of Rosé's what was her single that she released earlier this year. You know, how is it called? I cannot think of the title now. Rosé's single.
On the Ground or
On the Ground, yeah. On the Ground. I was
yeah.
gonna say Burn It on the Ground. I'm like, that's not correct. But
Burn It on the Ground. Okay.
No, but On the Ground, it was very similar to that. Like, I wonder if Rosé looked up to CL like for her vocals.
I think Blackpink really looked up to 21, even though CL already left YG Entertainment in 2019. And she took a personal break for herself, but I still feel like a lot of like the YG elements and like I believe some of the stuff that she was trained is still, with her. Apparently, I think I checked like one of the songs from there. Was it Let It, which is like more of like a slower song. It was CL said that it was apparently supposed to be for song with 21. And so you can if you're familiar with 21, especially with like their slower ballad songs, it's very much like like going back to her roots, with her group.
Yeah. I mean, and I think that's the reason, like, I think I really liked Let It, like, because it felt, again, going back to, like, that older style of older, like, second-gen K-pop, but, it still kind of had a tiny bit of a modern take to it, a little bit of modern breath to it. But, yeah, it definitely felt like something that it would have been with 21. I feel like we need to do, if we do a Wikipedia, we need to do 21 because they are the pillars in the K-pop world. Add that to our list of Wikipedias we need to do. We have a lot of lists of Wikipedias we got to start doing here on our show. But yeah, I mean, are there any other songs on this album that you really, really dug? Because like, it's just, like I said, it's a really interesting gamut of like both rapping and singing, and it's not like, cause you just think she's a rapper, it would just been full straight hip hop, but she's got this great like almost old R&B style throughout most of it too.
Yeah, I was also like I was about to say that a lot of the stuff, because I think it was like mostly hip hop and R&B. I love it's like how it's like a diverse mix of a lot of like hip hop styles, like going from like the trap into more of like the 2000s like hip hop bounce that you would hear. Like some of the examples with that would be like Chuck. It kind of feels like that Lil Jon Get Low type of like beat with like 2000s some hip hop bit, back in that decade. Tie a Cherry kind of reminds me of like a lot of like Lil Nas's Industry Baby, because even like the key to it, like the beat sounds like na 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 na. Like, okay, like I'm about to like sing that song instead, but I still enjoy the song by itself.
I would love to see somebody mash that up, actually. I love to see somebody mash up Industry Baby and Tie Cherry now. I'm not going to lie. Internet.
Yeah. And also, there's so many songs, like the B-sides, it was, especially that I really enjoy. But I think my favorite one, two of my favorite ones would be Paradise, which is really bring out like the Atlanta trap to me. It kind of was like going back, targeting to like Travis Scott or other like like well-known trap artists today, but it feels like more cleaner and refined like production behind. And I think my way like really brought out her rapping, her rap skills.
I have to agree. I think My Way is my one of my standout tracks on this, because that is just, it brought her like that fiery charisma and passion she just is so good for on the stage, and it's like everything, and it's just like it's so good. And yeah, like the B-sides are so stand out on this, and it's a really solid album. Like, I know because she had wanted to come out last year, but she had held off, and she said, I wanted it to kind of be more refined and kind of work it out. And I think it worked out in the best way, because I think it really did come together and it's a very solid full first studio album for her.
Right. Yeah, I'm really happy that that this is how it ended up, like how the results came out to be. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's gonna make it to like the top tens, but if not, it will definitely be in my honorable mentions. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'll be sure to make note of that. Like because I really enjoy her
Yeah.
album.
I know this one it's like flirting at my top 10 right now. It's like it's like right there because it is a very solid album for 2021. She really brought it, and I mean I have to applaud her. I hope she keeps bringing it. It's really nice seeing like the second gen idols coming back into the fold and just really as K-pop is really growing now, and like people are actually going back and looking at these older groups like that
Right.
we didn't know about, obviously, because they're not promoting as groups anymore. A lot of them are either promoting as solo artists. Some of them are still promoting as groups, obviously, like 2PM and B2B
Oh,
and
2 a.m. 2 is coming soon as well. Like,
yes. I know 2AM is releasing new music now, very much to the brother group to 2PM. That's not confusing at all. There's so many like second gen groups that are that are such pillars in the industry that we wouldn't have what we have today in K-pop if it wasn't for them. And so it's really nice to see them, just see people like CL out there and really succeeding and just having some very amazing and some really good music out there. And my hat's off to her, off to the queen bee of
K-pop, or even like going into like hip hop as well, because she really like bridges between those two genres in the in the Korean music industry. But the dude, I don't know if it happened yet or if it happened before. But what would happen if like CL and Jessie collab?
Oh my God. If those two collabed, I think I might die and have to resurrect and then die again.
All of us like K-pop multi-stans, because
I think it would, honest to God, because those like two of the baddest babes in
bad bitch, like the bad bitch apocalypse will be among us.
The bad bitch energy just be outflowing from Korea. Those two got together and collabed, like that would be something tells me that like Psy probably could somehow pull that together too. Probably. Right. Something tells me.
Has he collabed with Psy before, right?
I mean, well, Psy used to be at YG too, so I'm just saying.
I could have sworn that she was worked with him in some song. But
it could happen. You never know. But yeah, I mean, and like Jessie killing it too. But yeah,
right.
Oh my God,
her cold-blooded track.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like I said, well, she's also killing as a judge on Street Fighter Woman too. But God, yeah, wow, that was some bad bitch energy. Oof. Yeah, no, I CL. My hat's off to the queen. But I guess move on from queens to kings and move on. You like that segue? Move on to our next group we're going to talk about the rookie group Kingdom and their latest album. And now this is their third album. They've been busy this year, and since they debuted back in March. God, when did they debut? February or March?
But there's still not a lot of people are like getting or getting into them. It's just like all like very criminal though. It's like they're not getting much recognition.
Yeah, that's the curse of the small agency, I think. It unfortunately, but they're back with their next album, which is History Kingdom Part 3, Ivan, and their single Black Crown. And I mean, I like you said, people are really overlooking them. I don't know if it is just a small agency thing or what it is, but I really do think people are starting to overlook them because I think they are bringing something very different right now, because they're bringing this very obviously we talked about their whole like concept, the very theatrical concept, this whole king storyline that they're doing,
historical fantasy concept, bringing in like like legendary or like folklore legends like King Arthur, Chiwu, and now like for the third one they're talking like bringing in the history of Ivan the Terrible in Russia,
and even tying those like elements into the music as well, like and even into the choreography, because you could even tell with Black Crown, if you look at the choreography from the music video, there's a lot of ties to like the Russian ballet in the choreography, especially with the backup
Oh
dancers.
yeah. They're
Which
very meticulous when it comes to like learning or like looking at like the history of
mhm,
like cultures and with Russia, which even especially when I really like how they're really consistent with like opening their album with like an intro music.
mm,
When they did it with Arthur, they did it with Chiwoo, and now with like for the Ivan concept, they really brought like the rap or like the sound of Russia,
yeah.
because you got like the dark Gregorian like like singing, and then you like have like this really foreboding sound. Like it brings me like like oh man, like hashtag
Which
oh those Russians Rasputin vibes. You got everything in it.
it's bringing, which is also interesting because I feel like the storyline too is bringing, it's kind of turning on this very sinister kind of thing. Because if I'm trying to kind of keep kind of piecing together the storyline a little bit, because I'm not gonna lie, I might be starting to stand them a little bit. I might be becoming a Kingslayer.
Oh,
Whoops.
okay. So
God damn it. I'm not gonna lie, I did actually buy the albums. They came
did
yesterday
you?
in the mail.
Oh, nice.
And they actually, they're very, very beautiful because the albums fold out into a map and stuff. It's very, the artistry in the albums are really, really gorgeous actually. But
Remember when I said I wish like they overdid like the production, the physical
mhm.
production, made like Russian nesting dolls for each member.
Yeah, they didn't do that unfortunately, but they didn't do that. I think that would have been too much. But no, it's really cool because the two, if you get both editions of the album, they actually fold together the inner covers and they make a map of the seven kingdoms because each of them have extended kingdoms. So it's a very fantasy concept
Very.
that we're going with, you guys. So very Game of Thrones-esque. I also feel like it too because I felt very White Walker-ish. Not gonna lie, it's some White Walker vibes, imagery with the music video. I also can tell like the budget, they were definitely going a little ambitious with the budget because there's some there was a
Especially for
little
a
bit some
small
issues.
agency.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially for a small agency like with them, and they have like this really high end looking, really beautiful looking visuals in the music videos. Like, wow, where did they get the money?
Yeah, so because they really, because it's a GF Entertainment, which is I think the only group under GF, and it's a pretty new agency, so they're they're really trying to succeed here, and I mean for the song itself, like again, it's bringing those like kind of like more like Russian kind of like I said, it's kind of taking like this sinister time because like I feel like all the singles are again telling this story, and now we're kind of taking a bit of a sinister turn in the storyline. In terms of like, I feel like there's some kind of like corruption happening between the seven of them. There's some kind of fight between dark and like good and evil. There's some kind of fight between good and evil obviously happening. Some kind of possession, I feel like. But the one criticism I will have of the song is I feel like it was missing something right at the chorus. I felt like it was a little empty at that drop. I don't know.
Yeah, I know like they're trying to swell up with the chorus, but there's still some like they could have had like some kind of oomph into the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I see where you're getting at.
It felt like a little bit more bombastic in my mind, and still kept with like what they had going because again they have all these beautiful elements to it. It just rung a little hollow, in my opinion. And so, but like I said, it's just all together as a package, it's gorgeous. It's just if you look at it sometimes separately, it's like if you look at the song separately as itself, like I just wish it had a little bit more oomph at the chorus, and then I think it would have been so good because I think like Karma was so good because it had tied all those elements together so gorgeously well with the Chinese elements and the more modern, like kind of trappish vibes that they had kind of with the mix. And like, well, they still have the Russian elements in Black Crown, but there's just, again, something just missing at that chorus in my mind. So.
Yeah, nothing much I could say. Like, I think I agree with you. There. Okay. I think also with like with a lot of the songs too, I would also say like I think they want to keep it more consistent vibe with the having like the really wintry type of like atmosphere. They should they should have like had more of like that kind of tone. It doesn't have to be like super dark and like very eerie with with the story of that like Ivan and like the Russian history. But I think a good example with that, like I think one of my favorite tracks from there is Burn, because it's almost like a good contrast of like of Black Crown, and has like a more positive positive type of like feeling. but it's still for to me personally, I can feel like a lot of the wintry cool atmosphere, like from like the use of their key and like how they arrange like like their music, and it's like something like that. I could like listen to it in Christmas.
Yeah, no, I agree with that too, because I think Burn, it felt like a little futuristic in the sound production. Like it kind of had some like more experimental takes for them. Like it felt like something almost like a la NCT Dream to me,
Yeah.
a little bit in my mind. Just especially like something like from like Hello Future. It felt like
Oh yeah.
I kind of got some vibes from like Hello Future with that song. Not in a bad way at all. Like I actually quite like I really enjoyed Burn. I thought Burn was one of my favorite B-sides on the album, but I agree with you in terms of like the rest of the B-sides. While they're good songs, because I do like the song We Are, but it doesn't quite flow with the album itself. And if you want to kind of keep with this like darker wintry theme
Russian.
that you were establishing with the intro and Black Crown, because like We Are is kind of like this more like dancey, disco-y song. While it's fun to see them do this like fun concept with that song, and I thought it was really well executed. Just don't think it flowed too well on the album. Like it would have maybe worked on a different album. You know what I mean?
Right.
Overall, like I said, like they have there's something there for them. It's a shame they're getting overlooked right now because again, small agency. Though I mean, I will say this: it's kind of nice actually to see them because I know Kingslayers were trying to get 1 million views in a day, and I don't think they quite got there. I think they're sitting at like 1.2 million views in just less than a week on their music video, which is not bad for them.
Yeah, not bad.
So they're trying to definitely get there, and they're definitely trying to build buzz for this group because like I said, this is a really ambitious concept for them, and like I said, they're really building this ambitious storyline throughout the music videos.
Right. And do you know like what will be the next story for them? Because it looks like a Korean history teaser.
I believe they're trying to do a Korean they're trying to do a Korean one next time, and I think because we had Shiwoo. Because I feel like they keep going back and forth now. We keep going back and forth between Western and Eastern. You know what I mean?
It feels like
groups now. So I'm trying to think which group that's going, which king we're going to be going to now. Give me 1 second here. I have to remember off the top of my head which king we're going to. Because I don't think it's not King. I don't know if we're going to Don. No, because that would be Denmark. There might be Mugen.
Okay.
We might be going to King Mugen. So, because we already did Chiwoo, so we might be going to Mugen. I think that's Mugen next. That we're taking over next because his name is based after had to look here after which actually is a Japanese emperor or based after Emperor Jimmu, but I know it's Korean, so I'm not sure how we're tying it all together, but might be going to King Mugen now for the next album, I think is what the teaser was at the end of Black Crown, because they always tease who we're going to right now for the next album in terms of their histories. So, which makes me interested, like what's going to happen if we get through all 7 of them. Then what happens?
Right. Then what happens? So we run on like historical references too.
I think right now they're trying to establish a storyline, and that like, there's like establishing like the story, and then I think after that they're gonna take off. But it makes me wonder if they're gonna like try to get like all 7 of them out within like the 2 years, like through like rookie period, which would be impressive if they do. So, so we'll see. I think we'll have to wait and see with them. But I guess with that, we'll move on to our third and final album. Like I love how our albums came out like one day after another this week. Because we had Seals come out on...
They're ruthless, this season.
I know. They are ruthless. Gotta love the end of the year. But yeah, because we had Seal come out on the 20th. We had Kingdom come out on the 21st. And then literally the next day on Friday, the 22nd, we had 17 come back with their 9th mini album. Yes, their 9th mini album, Attacca. and they're promoted lead single "Rock with You," which they actually dropped at midnight. They actually dropped the single at midnight Eastern time, so kind of a Thursday Friday release.
Yeah, I'm actually really surprised. I really feel like Hybe is really going to like for like that Friday release, Friday release with their artists.
Yeah, especially because they've been doing that with BTS as of late.
TXT,
Tomorrow Together, they haven't done a little bit than Hyphen. Hyphen's been having midnight or the 6 p.m. releases, but Tomorrow by Together's been having. Well, it's interesting because they're about to drop the B-side music video finally for Frost on the 28th.
Oh,
they're dropping it. Yeah, they're dropping it at midnight Korean time. I know. I'm sitting here like finally because it's been like months for that era. So,
and also I'm also thinking because of like the title track of 17s. I can think of like this subject like, hey, it's not the Michael Jackson "Rock with You" all night. Sunrise.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
Oh, not that Cedric.
No, not that song. No. It is called "Rock with You," not Michael Jackson. No. But it's all I can say with this with "Rock with You" is wow. Just wow.
I know your style. I know your taste though, Jenny. Listening to like the album is like this is like Jenny's type of stuff.
You're just like, this is totally for Jenny. Like you just knew.
I write sins, not tragedies.
I'm sorry, my emo heart's bleeding. Well, it's like it's more rock than it is emo, like honestly.
It's like 2000s like alt rock type of thing, which is they've been really going with a lot of Hybe groups. Tomorrow by Together and Hyphen to some degree.
Though interestingly enough, there was really no other Hybe like producers on the album, because if you looked, I looked at the production credits. There's no Hitman Bang on the lead single. It's just mostly all like the main like regular like Pledis guys, except for like a handful of like Western producers to help on songwriters to help on the main single.
That's good though. Yeah, I mean, because because people are kind of like nervous about like, oh, since they're under Hybe now, are they gonna get like the BTS treatment? They're gonna sound like more like them. Right. It's good that Hybe let them let Pledis do their own production and still keep their own sound.
Exactly, because it's the same crew, Woozi and Bumzu handling most of the lyrics and the music on most of the albums. The only one that I think Woozi didn't take complete control over was the hip hop unit song and the bonus track on the album that was Joshua's and Vernon's song. But those two actually just wrote themselves. But I know he helped with the music side of it, but he didn't help with the lyrics. Yeah, I mean, honest to God, like I think "Rock with You" is honestly, it's up there for me in terms of singles. It's I think their best single since "Fear" from 2019's an Ode. I think this is their best album since 2018's an Ode. Honest to God.
Oh wow. Wow, that's a huge statement coming from you.
Mm-hmm. Like this is a really, really, really solid album, and in fact, an Ode is a very, very, very good album. In 17's discography, like I really highly recommend if you listen to 17, which I feel like we need to do again. Another group we need to put on our Wikipedia. 17. And Ode is one of their best albums, if not the best album. Don't quote me on that because I feel like I'm have carrots coming after my ass, but it's up there in terms of like best albums for them. And I think Attacca is up there as well, because it is just throughout, like that rock sound is just prevalent throughout the group songs, the unit songs. Like it's just really nice to have like that connecting thread throughout to connect all the 6 songs forward. Because like we were just complaining, or not really complaining, but as we were just kind of critiquing about in Kingdom, where it felt disjointed between the intro and their single versus all their B-sides, where they don't really kind of flow together. This at least feel like it flows together as a package, because you have that connecting thread of like that early aughts rock sound throughout, but like there's still like different variations of that sound that
I think the only like songs that kind of like that goes like branches out from that usual rock sound would be to you, kind of feels like more of like a poppy it's like K-pop boy band song. It reminds me of like The Boys Is No Air, like for some reason to me.
I can
And
see that.
Crush, and I think even Pang too. Like they're more of like a hip hop or a bit of the funk that they really excel much. But most of them, at least, they're consistent with like their rock sounding concept though.
Yeah, like it still kind of keeps the flow, because I think there's a tiny bit of rock, like at least, like I agree with Pang, like there's like that, it definitely, if that was like way out there for the performance, because that's the performance unit's track on the album, but I feel like there's a little bit of rock on it too, but I can also see why the performance unit chose that song and what they could potentially do with the song when all four of them are finally back together, because currently half of the performance unit is in China and spending time with their family. So with June and the 8th spending time in China now for the rest of the year. But I mean, even through that though, like I just really dug this album. It just, I guess it's the emo me. What can I say? But there's just something also too with there's the songwriting on it too. Just, it felt super, super strong and just super together with them. It worked really well with their vocals and connecting all three of their units together, and just bringing it all together in the perfect package that is 17. Like so, the nice thing about 17 is they can really adapt to any kind of genre, I feel like.
And it really goes to show you how they really are commended with their independent production, because I think they're one of the rare groups that produces their own music. Like they do their dance, they like write their own songs, and they make their own music. So it's very highly recommend. If you want, goes to show like how people think K-pop's really like, oh, it's mass produced, and a lot of people do songs for like those young people. 17 is like one of the rare exceptions, and I think you should really check out a lot of their their diverse, eclectic discography.
Yeah, exactly. Like we said, Woozi and Boomzu, like Woozi, who is a member of the group, and Boomzu, who's been like one of the staunch like main producers with the group since I think the beginning, have basically their hands in almost every track on this album. And whether it's in the lyrics or in the music, and just they continue to grow, and it's just really awesome to see more of the members also getting their hands into the lyrics, into the actual music. Like even like Dino has his hands in actually like the music productions with Pang, with the performance units track. And even to see, like, again, on the bonus track with 2-1, the bonus track on the album, which is a English track that was written and produced by Joshua and Vernon, the two American members. The two American members of the group. Like they got their hands pretty, into the production side of things, and this been working on the lyrics and the music for that song. And that's actually kind of, I think that's one of I had to actually put like, I really like that song because it felt very Paramore. It felt very Paramore to me. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I was thinking, like listening to that song, like, oh, Jen's gonna enjoy this.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Like, I'm not gonna lie. If it was at karaoke, I would totally sing the song. You have no idea. I'd be singing my heart out with that song. It worked really well with the Shua and Vernon. Honestly, like they were so good at that. But did you have any other songs that you really liked on the album?
I think I mentioned just like the intro, or like the first track, which is To You, and their other song, which is Crush. I think I'm more of like the funk or like poppy side of 17.
Okay.
I think I enjoy more of like that side of their music more.
Okay. So do you like
kind
more
of the
like
opposite here.
You more like
Kind of the opposite
the
here.
last album than this album, right? You more like Ready to Love.
I think so. Though even though I think their last album, which is for semicolon, I think they really excel more in that.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
I really enjoy like the really jazzy, like side of production.
Yeah. Semicolon was super jazzy. That was really, really cool take for them to do that. And then obviously their previous album with Your Choice was a little bit more kind of retro.
Almost like it's like produced by Big Hit for I know like the title track was made by that Hitman Bang.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I think people were concerned with Ready to Love, and I know a lot of people were really concerned with Rock With You because a lot of people saw all the producers and stuff and were concerned it was going to be an English only track because nobody really apparently a lot of parents didn't want an English only like solo like a single. Which obviously we didn't get.
BTS is like an influence.
Pretty much. I think a lot of people were definitely kind of worried about that because especially because 17 is one of the biggest, third gen groups currently. I mean, again, Attacca outsold Your Choice in terms of pre-sales. Is another million seller in 17's discography history. So it sold nearly almost 1.5 million pre-sales. So
nice.
Yeah, I mean, they still keep growing. But yeah, I mean, people were a little concerned, but I honestly think like I really like Rock With You. I just really like that rock sound that they did because I think it really worked with them. So, and like I said, I don't know. I like that early aughts rock sound. That's just my bread and butter. What can I say?
I like emo songs. Don't judge me.
My emo heart is bleeding. Sorry. But I like that. I like Loser equals Lover. What can I say? My emo heart is bleeding for Subin. Anyway, and Yojun. Anyway, hi.
Back to reality.
Back to the actual show here. Just watch me spiral after Frost comes out in a couple days.
Oh no.
Because it's gonna be storyline shit for their AU. Just watch. Let's continue on to actually our releases from the 25th from this week, and we had a couple of releases come out early this week, including a repackage from NCT 127, who we talked about obviously on our comeback show with Sticker, and now they just came back with a
just a month later
repackage.
They're really booked, man. There's like I know like they've been planning on like making NCT 2021 or whatever they're gonna be like doing at the end of the year, but man, they're really like plowing down.
Because I like literally, it's like I think I literally looked and like I think they literally finished promotions for Sticker and then they announced the repackage and it was are they not gonna sleep? Like seriously, are they just like sad on this,
dude?
Like
I love NCT. I really like NCT is like my group, but yeah, I'm like damn, like SL, like settle down.
It's like hold your horses. Like, can you let these men sleep? Like for like 3 days.
Like that music video on Favorite. Like that's them. Like that's their break time. That is their break time. But they filmed them.
Oh, it's just the opening of the video for Favorite parenthetical vampires is them sleeping, and that's the only sleep they get. Anyway, no, we're talking about Favorite, which is the third album repackage, which came back with 2 new songs. Favorite parenthetical vampire. I don't know why they added that vampire, but anyway.
That was like random. Like, okay, we're gonna like have a collab with and Hypen, because I know like, even though we got a lot of like vampire concepts before in Hypen, that group is like trying to like honing that concept. Into, like,
they're just like they're just going straight vampire all the way. I mean, there's been vampire ideas in music videos. I'm gonna go back to the boys' earlier like song off of Universe this summer with Drink It, which not a bad song actually for Halloween. Putting it out there, spooky time Halloween. The boys Drink It. If you want some vampire dark shit, anyway. And then the song "Love on the Floor," but
also isn't Pilot their new song too? Because I don't think I've heard Pilot in their
album. Was Pilot a new one too? Okay.
Yeah, I think they have three songs.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
I was like the way they had it arranged in the album, because it's like all over the place. Like
I
they
know,
didn't.
like, if I'm trying to, I kind of want to like listen to the repackaged songs. So I was like having a hard time, like, okay, what's their new songs?
It's like you kind of like to look between both discographies. I'm like, wait, which ones were on Sticker?
Yeah, that's what
which ones are on Favorites?
Yeah, that's what I kind of hate with repackaged albums. Like I have to like trying to like see like what was like their new songs.
I know,
so
it's
listen to them. It's like,
it's not like where I've had like repackaged albums, like I'm gonna point to On and Off, where they at least put them in the beginning and then the rest was like the previous album, which was easy because I'm like, okay, I know what the repackage is. I've seen that with Stray Kids too. Like they did that with their repackaged album, between Go Live and In Life. Like it was like for In Life, like it had all the new stuff in the beginning, and then all the stuff they've had from Go Live was on the bottom of the album. So it was like that was easy. But yeah, this is just like they decided to just kind of sprinkle it in the between all the songs from Sticker. So
you're right.
Thanks, SM. Okay. But I mean, should we just talk about Favorite, the single itself?
Okay. Well, we'll first like go back to with Sticker, just a refresher how we criticize Sticker for being like too overproduced and being like very I know like ambitious with their experimentation, but it kind of missed the mark with like their song, because like a lot of the elements that just really clashed in, most especially their infamous flute, their flute riff, which is like overtaking like the voices of like the rappers and the vocalists, right?
Yeah, very much.
Yeah, and even like the bridges and like the verses are like all over the place with the Sticker. Yeah, so you gotta remember that, right?
We're just refreshing your memory. We're just refreshing memory. Continue.
Yeah, so like how like Sticker was really overproduced with their style, and it didn't really like jam well for me. So when I finally heard Favorites, and like with some of the familiar elements that they came from with Sticker, and all I have to say is I was tearing up because I felt like they answered my prayers. Because like when I said like, oh, they could have done this for Sticker, like right, where was this? Where was this? They could have like done it for Sticker, just like that, or they should have made Favorite the actual title track of like their whole project. Yeah, I was crying like tears of joy. Thank God.
What's the first thing I put down my notes? I said, but the first thing I put down my notes is, why does this sound so much like Sticker, and how is it 1,000% better?
1,000%. This is Sticker, but it's better. It's better produced. Like the wind instrument, which is more of the whistle, doesn't like. Like it's not the front of like the riff, but it's actually at the background, and you can hear more of like appreciate the rappers and the vocalists.
I'm just sitting here. I'm like, where was this for Sticker? Like, SM, the hell? Like seriously.
At least they they listen to me. They listen to my complaints.
They listen to Susie Jenny. No, I'm kidding. No, I mean, because yeah, Sticker was a mess, and in my mind, it was a mess. Your mind too, obviously. I mean, a lot of citizens eventually were like, it's growing on me, and for me, I'm just in here like, okay.
Like I know, like I can like listen to Sticker, like I'm kind of used to it, but it's just more background music, or just needed to like have a laugh. If I want something like to like give me something to laugh, I just listen to Sticker.
I know. I'm to the point now. I get to grow thick skin because I know I'm probably gonna have to listen to Sticker during like awards performances at the end of the year. So I'm like,
they should like play Favorite instead. I'm sorry, play Favorite.
Yeah, I know. Like, because there's something super R&B, slinky, sexy, like woodwindy, like again that woodwind like whistle, where just like it's the woodwind whistle, like it emulates that damn flute from Sticker, but
it's much softer. Yeah, it's softer, and it
just works so much better.
And it actually like made it fit within the song, because with the flute thing in Sticker, or the recorder, and I think it feels more like a recorder. It's just like it doesn't like stick. It doesn't mesh well with like with the whole music, and it's just like
Mhm.
really like just like two different things just like clunked together. But with here, it's like it blends well. It blends better.
Oh yeah, it for sure blends better. Like it comes together and it ties so well into just like this beautiful like I don't just this is really beautiful like again this like really beautiful R&B song, which again it's SM, so you know the kings of
Of
R&B,
course.
but
And their
it's
hip
just
hop too, like the like yeah, like when we go to the the verse, I was like already into it, like like it really grooves into like the going to
mhm,
the first verse. I'm like, wow, okay, nice. So I'm really getting into it.
right. Yeah, it
And
just
no
like
like no autotune from Taeyong, thank goodness. It's
oh
like
my
the
god.
first verse with Taeyong, like whoa, God, what? Why would you do that?
I know, just
Why?
like
No,
no hella autotune, thank God.
yeah,
But
but
yeah, I mean,
yeah,
it's overall a way better song than Sticker was. Thank God. Because I'm not gonna lie, if they were gonna throw out another clunker, I was gonna be sitting there at SM and be like, "What are
fuck.
y'all doing over there to these poor men?"
And with Espa too, like they're just like, give me
Yeah,
now, yeah. But
yeah. Well,
yeah, this is like a redemption, like redemption journey. With even though it took like a month or just like it was like a really short time, but I am almost impressed that like they were able to like do like more and actually fix like the mistakes that they made.
yeah. Me
And
too.
also, like a fun fact, because I don't know who produced the sticker, but I
Mhm.
know they said that for this particular song, for the comeback, this was produced by a very famous, very famous guy named Dark Child. If you're not familiar with him, he's also done a lot of like music for like a lot of Western artists.
Mm.
The best examples were Michael Jackson, Beyonce, Spice Girls. They're from Britain. Even like made like recently with
Mm.
for Justin Bieber. He's worked with a lot of like Western artists from like old to new, and it's really really impressive on how much SM really got like hired a lot of like those American artists. Or American producers to do a lot of their songs because you can really tell a
Oh
lot of them
yeah.
have like a really great R&B and even hip hop. So they really utilize them and to great a lot of great stuff from
Yeah.
SM.
Which is I think why like groups like NCT do appeal so well overseas too, because again it has that very Western style to it in terms of like again the R&B to it. So I think that just appeals to it. But again having again there's still the Korean to it just makes it a little bit different. So but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, no, like I said, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. This is such a better song than Sticker. So much
thank,
happier.
thank you NCT 127. Thank you SM for actually listening to us.
To the
Now I'm kind of feel like I want like a better version of Permission to Dance now because I have
yeah.
my own beef with like that song and
I know. Who do you have to complain to over at Hybe now for that? Now that
Hive.
they're
Yeah.
never going to listen to us. I mean, at least my prayers are answered that I at least get to potentially watch the shows in LA through a live stream. So that's good at least. But I mean, that's all I get right now. So minor wins, I guess. I don't know. Let's talk about the other two songs though off of this repackage. Should we talk about on the what was the other song? Because we had
Love on the Floor.
Love on the Floor,
Yeah.
which wow, that
Whew.
I Love on the Floor, like that's a fun techno song. Like that's a
In the
Euro.
words of Hey Chan, it's a bop. I wish I could like go to the club and like ask them to play the song so I can just like really get down on the floor and like start like boogie, like with like John Travolta and Saturday Night
Oh
Fever.
my god. I know. I'm sitting here right now thinking because I'm about to go on vacation coming up here very soon with
Oh,
some other K-pop friends of mine, and I have a feeling the song might be showing up on my playlist when we're all staying together because
it's a
it
great
is
club. It's a great club, dance, beat.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like,
it definitely is like a good like Euro techno beat to it. It
mhm.
is just super fun. And then the third song then on the repackage you said was Pilot, right?
Pilot, yeah, I think it's more like the the chill R&B
Mm.
song. It's kind of like
Yeah.
on the level of crap. I forgot the song. I can't wait till not breakfast. Focus, yeah, focus.
Oh yeah,
That
yeah,
song,
yeah.
that type of like that
Okay,
R&B, like really loungy sound,
more
loungy
chill,
sound.
more kind of
Yeah.
chill vibes. Yeah, chill kind
Can't
of.
wait till we choose.
I know.
Also, yeah, shout out to Yuta, who is also celebrating his birthday on the 26th.
Yeah, we just passed. We
Scorpio
just.
King, my Japanese Scorpio King, Yuta.
Yes, God, we've had a lot of Scorpio birthdays as of late because I know we just had Lino's birthday from Stray Kids on the 25th. Which I still have to go watch.
And Yuta, next day.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a great like comeback story because I think they really used story like show him a lot in the video.
Oh,
so
I know. I was so happy to see you to be center and favorite. Like I was like, yes, finally this man gets his due. Because he's so underrated.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Also, I really like. It's no surprise, but also Jaehyun, like was like a visual, like a very like handsome guy, and like see him like with the vampire aesthetic is just what can he do? Like what else can he do?
Not gonna lie, Jaehyun could easily pull off a vampire in a K-drama. Jaehyun could easily pull off a vampire in any kind of like K-drama. I'm not gonna lie. So also brings up this whole thing I saw on one of my many K-pop Facebook pages. It was this whole interesting conversation. Apparently, most K-pop groups can be just divided into two groups, either vampire or werewolf. And now apparently I have to put NCT now fully in the vampire category after that music video.
I think some of like the groups can be like werewolves or something because there's so many of them. So I don't know.
Well, it was like, I love it. It was like the whole discussion was like, well, let's see, we could put BTS in vampire. We could put Stray Kids in werewolf, obvious reasons. EXO in werewolf, obvious reasons. Right.
I forgot.
Some obvious reasons for some of those.
I have there's like a show that I watch like What We Do in the Shadows, and they have like a really funny like spat between like the vampires and the werewolves. There's they're like they're just like petty with each other, so I kind of have like that kind of scenario with like a lot of K-pop groups. So you have with like Enhypen and then like NCT and then like Stray Kids and then the werewolves and all that.
Now I'm just coming up with fanfic fodder. Oh god damn it. Anyway, I'm moving on to our last.
I have no time. We have no time. We have no time. And I was trying to like finish my work and all that.
Y'all, I have no time either. Also, let's just move on to our last single before I go down a dark rabbit hole here, and I'm gonna incriminate myself. Anyway, our final thing that we're gonna review this week is a single from you guys. How do I explain Epik High? Because like they
how do I explain Epik High?
How do you explain Epik High? I mean, Epik High, I think,
Wikipedia.
are some of the to Wikipedia. No, Epik High seriously are some of like the if you were talking from like the beginnings of K-pop, especially for some of the idols out there who grew up
or inspired by
Epik High is one of those groups, especially for the rappers, like are one of the pinnacle like Korean hip hop groups that like
everyone like always like talk about Seo Taiji and the boys, like they're like one of the main foundations, but not a lot with with Epik High, I think.
But they really are one of the pillars for where we get, especially nowadays, for at least the rappers in K-pop.
Or like hip hop and K-pop industry.
Exactly. A lot would be even not just in K-pop, but even in the hip hop world of in Korea too, that is growing, I think, even at an exponential rate. Like there's a lot of really great hip hop music period in Korea, and you can really bring it back to Epik High being one of those pillars to really bring it and be very successful and they continue to be a success, even nowadays as they are all married and have kids and they're still making music at 40 in their 40s here.
Also, like okay, like you with 21, you wouldn't have Blackpink without 21. You wouldn't have BTS without Epik High.
Oh, hands down.
BTS is like they're one of their main inspirations was Epik High when they first started out as a hip hop group.
Both RM and Sik-K have named Epik High as like as big inspirations. Heck, I think Tablo and Suga are actually good friends now. Like they
Oh,
talk all the
nice.
time and stuff.
Oh.
About like all stuff. I think I was reading something Tablo, like I think he just said something about him and Suga, like, and somebody else trying to like start a book club.
Yeah, I think
Like,
because I think I'm assuming his daughter Haru would probably like be a big army. So I guess that's why, like, Tyler, okay, I'm gonna like talk with like oh yeah, I'm friends with like your favorite group.
yeah, well, and well, also because Suga's actually produced some stuff for Epik High too, on some previous albums
Oh.
of theirs.
Oh.
So which is actually some really good stuff too. But though they just dropped a single on Monday called Face ID, which is also featuring the artists GIRIBOY, Sik-K, and JUSTHIS.
That's
And
fun fact. When I listened to like a podcast from Double Toasted years ago, and when they were like one of the members from there, or one of the people was introducing a lot of like music from K-pop. He brought up like this one track that where it was my first time listening to like members from Monster X before they debut, and also like people from like with GIRIBOY, Sik-K, and JUSTHIS. Is that I think I owe a lot to like that person, like like introducing me and like being familiar with those names. Like, oh yeah, I remember GIRIBOY. I remember like that song that they once did. So yeah, I was like when I saw like oh like they were there collaborating with Epik High, like oh wow, and I'm pretty excited for this.
yeah, and I know I've heard stuff with GIRIBOY because I know GIRIBOY's collab before with like the Sumi and Suran and other artists out there, other R&B artists like Suran. As of late, I think he was on a track that again Suga from BTS produced for Suran. That came out in 2019, I believe. And 2019 or 2020, I think it's 2019. And I mean, and then Sik-K and JUSTHIS, I think, are also really big rappers in the hip hop scene, I believe, in Korea as well. Like and I just love this. Like, so as of late, like I feel like Epik High has been really out there collabing because we saw that with Rosario.
Oh yeah, Rosario with CL too.
Exactly. So like they're just so great that they go out and they collab with like all these different artists, and they just bring this like the unadulterated swagger and stuff. That's why I really liked their last album, Epik High is Here Part 1, which I had Cedric, my boyfriend, listen to, and he loves that album to the point that Epik High just announced also a world tour, which they're going to be stopping in America and Canada and stuff. And I think both me and Cedric are going to be going to their show come this March in Chicago. So I still have to get tickets, but because it's like a floor show, so it's like
a fandom name with Epik High. Do they have like a fandom name or no?
I don't know if they have a fandom name, honestly, but I think it was before like we actually had like fandom names established. But I mean, the song itself, Face ID, it's so old school, like 90s
very
hip hop. Like it felt like,
but it's not outdated in a way. It's like they really bring in like the funk and like a bit of like a rock kind of thing, because they have like the drums and the bass, but they really blend well with like their rap flow, especially with a lot of like the collaborators too. And that would
like it's so smooth, like all the different verses everybody drops, how it flows between Tableau to all the different artists on there, and just how those. I recommend you go check out the music video. The music video is trippy as hell.
Unless you're epileptic or really sensitive with flashlights. Maybe not. Just like listen to the music.
because there's a lot of like flashing on it. So if you're epileptic, you might want to skip it. But if you're not, I'd recommend you check it out because it's very, very trippy. Also, because it's just hilarious because the DJ Tukut's dancing. Because they got him from behind the DJ rack and actually have him dancing. He's dancing pretty good, so it's like good on you, sir. But yeah, it's like I said, I really appreciate like this like really awesome like kind of lo-fi bass line to this in this very 90s early like West Coast hip hop to it, and it's and it's the sick raps on top of it. Like the flow is amazing between all of them. And these just amazing, like you have to read the lyrics too that each of them lay down. Like the flow is amazing. Just shows all of them
very
like
insightful. It's like almost like a conscious rap, music.
Yes, like streamlined consciousness of rap. It felt like between all of them. So but yeah, it kind of fits in this whole like theme of like, like because it's kind of based like the Face ID like you get for like when you look at your phone and it locks the Face ID, kind of going upon the play of words with that and stuff. So it's again, it's just that wonderful like wordplay and stuff, and then you see why some of the artists like we've talked about on the show, like BTS and other groups look up to Epik High, and why they've been such a pillar in the K-pop world and just like in the K-pop and the K-hip hop world for so long. And yeah, I mean, I'm still waiting for Epik High's Year Part 2. Honest to God.
I should really like look into them too, because I think I listened to some of their songs and I really enjoy like the really old school rap. So I think hopefully I'll be able to explore more of it, because I really enjoy their stuff. And even BTS, like during their debut days, like they really sampled a lot from like Epik High's like tracks, especially and also like one of their albums too, Map of the Soul, came from not just from Carl Jung but also from Epik High as well.
So I mean, like they're still like it's amazing that they're still out here, like still making music, and at age 40 when they're all married and have kids and stuff, and they're still out here making music too. So you have to appreciate like the hard work that they're still doing out here, and still laying some sick ass flow out there. Like it's super impressive. So really showing these kids where it's at.
Look, your young bloods.
I was like, step out of the way, young bloods. Let the kings, let the kings stand here. So
we'll show you how it's done.
Pretty much. But with that we did it. We got through our gauntlet of new music this week.
Meanwhile, Cedric's like, boo! 2 hours.
No, we didn't quite make 2 hours, but we talked a lot. We had a lot of, like I said, a lot of music this week to talk about. I mean, we did have a lot of news to talk about, which I guess is a good thing.
Good thing. No like news or like important news, but just like music reviews. That's it.
Yeah, nothing like shock wave like breaking in the K-pop world. Like most of the stuff has been
entertainment. Yeah,
most of it's been like petty ass drama, which y'all don't care about.
We don't care. Yeah, like we'll try not to like like make light of those like minimal stuff. Hopefully,
most of that stuff I feel like passes in a day anyway, and it's mostly dumb.
It's over with.
Yeah, most of the quote unquote scandals are not except for the whole bullying thing. That was a whole firestorm and a half. Yeah, because that
was like almost like a trend in a bad way. So
yeah, that was a whole. That was a thing this year. Korean cancel culture is something else, y'all. Let's just put it that way. Oof. As I'm watching right now with the K-pop, not K-pop, but with the K-drama actor currently, but yeesh. But yeah, no. I mean, next week we have new music coming from the boys with another mini. I believe it's a mini album from them. I don't think it's a full. I think Maverick's a mini. So, which looks good. Like at least the concept stuff is very interesting. I haven't seen any previews for the music videos yet, as of yet, but that comes out next week. I think we're going to also have to talk about rookie group Epics as well. Who we haven't talked about much on the show, but I've listened to some of their. I listened at least to their debut album, and I really, they're the younger brother group of the group Six. They're in the same agency, C9 Entertainment, and they had a very strong debut, I thought, in my opinion. And I'm looking forward to listening to their new album, which literally came out actually the day we're recording. But because we had so much other music, I didn't want to throw that on our docket too, because I'm not that mean of a host, hopefully. And then I don't know, we'll have to see what else possibly pops up next week in terms of new music. I think Somi drops new music next week too.
All right, her album.
Yeah, it's coming out later this week, I think, as well. So we might have to review that too. But otherwise, it's kind of, I haven't seen much get announced in terms of November releases.
But we're gonna be nearing the award season though too, so we're gonna
so we might be having a couple of Wikipedias coming up soon before the end of the year. We'll have to wait and see how the release schedule comes. But I know I just heard a rumor. I don't know if it's a rumor or not, but I heard Monsta X is coming back with new music eventually. I don't know if it's November or December.
I haven't heard of it.
I heard they're coming back with a full English album again.
Oh, full English album?
Yeah, they said another full English.
They're really going with the going for North American demographic.
They're really.
I mean, no judgment, because BTS hasn't really paved for that kind of promotion.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at now. Obviously, we look at Dynamite, Butter, Permission to Dance, and then we're all sitting here hey guys, we were getting any Korean stuff eventually, but I don't know. Yeah, and I know I heard potentially that we're getting a new Monsta X album, but it's going to be in English. So we'll wait and see what happens with that. But that might be a little bit down the road here, because I just found out about that this week, literally yesterday or the day before. So, but yeah, I mean, there's so much else going on right now in terms of new music. Oh, that's right. We have 2 p.m. or just not 2 p.m. 2 a.m.'s comeback happening on the 1st as well.
Right.
So we have to talk about them too. So. But yeah, no, I guess with that, I think we'll have to wrap the show for the week.
No, let's talk about more stuff. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, I could talk more about the BTS concert from Sunday if you want me to, because I watched that. But no, you don't want to hear me talk about that. Go ahead and plug your stuff, Jenny.
Let's go. So you can find me on Facebook at Ginny Liano. So that's GINNYLEANO. Or you can check out my design pages, because I design a lot of stuff, which is at Ginny Liano Designs on Facebook, or on Instagram at Ginny Designs. And hopefully you'll be able to find other links to my personal pages from there. Back to you, Jenny.
And you can find me, Jenny. You can find me over on Twitter and on Instagram at Chaos Bulldog. You can also find me over on Facebook, facebook.com/Jenny Matasek. That's Jenny with an I, Matasek. You can also find our show pages for the Noonas podcast over on Twitter and on Instagram at Noonas_podcast. Don't forget the underscore. You can also check out our Spotify playlists and SoundCloud links under the show handles. You can also check out our SoundCloud SoundCloud backlog catalog of our previous episodes over on SoundCloud. That's soundcloud.com/Noonas podcast, where we have all 30 whatever episodes of the podcast on there. And you can also check out our brand new, spanking new, shiny, brand new Facebook page. Yes, we have a Noonas podcast Facebook page now. Dun, 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 dun. Our new home, actually, for our video form of our show. So if you want to continue checking out the video form of our show, so you can see the beautiful pictures that Miss Ginny Liano likes to put together for our show every week, which I really do appreciate. I love her little edits and stuff. Especially, I'm still reeling over that Ben and Red Lights one that you did a couple weeks ago. I'm still reeling over that one. Oh my God. Jesus.
my proudest work as a designer. My proudest.
Lord. And then she put it up in one of our group chats, and I was just like, oh God. Anyway, but you can find our show page over on Facebook. Just search the Noonas podcast over on Facebook, and you can check us out over there. And again, all the video forms of our episodes are over there as well. And that is it for the Noonas podcast this week. I don't know. I have nothing clever to say this week to sign off, unfortunately.
I know. I'll see you guys next week. Fighting.
I don't know. I'm also maybe just a little stir crazy over Jungkook's looks from Sunday's concert, because oh my God. I haven't talked to you about the concert from Sunday, but if they're gonna be like that in LA. Oh,
is it gonna be our new end quote?
No. I'm not gonna. No, it's just me groaning into the distance. No, we can finish it with the fighting, but fighting, guys.